It seems strange to me, this idea that we are supposed to be a tolerant society, but yet when push comes to shove, people are getting fired versus forgiven for things that they say that don't align with the PC culture. At what point should we start forgiving people for the mistakes that they make? See, I think we're all suffering from our own ego delusion. If we don't choose to forgive the people that have fucked up, then we are no better than that person. Period. Peace. What is up, everybody? My name is OnenO. Welcome back to the blog. Today, we got to talk about Megyn Kelly. Because this situation, I think, is very interesting for one major reason. But before I get into my opinion on it, let's listen to what Megyn Kelly actually said.
Well, that is racist because truly you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface for Halloween, or a black person who puts on whiteface for Halloween. Like when I was a kid, that was okay as long as you were dressing up as like a character. There was a controversy on The Real Housewives of New York with Luann, as she dressed as Diana Ross. And she made her skin look darker than it really is, and people said that that was racist. And I don't know, I felt like, who doesn't love Diana Ross? She wants to look like Diana Ross for one day. I don't know how like that got racist on Halloween. It's not like she's walking around
I have not seen it.
Okay, so here's what I'm having to say about this. Megyn, did she fuck up verbally? I don't know. I think it's clear that the PC reaction to her comments have been very brutal and very harsh, and people wanted her fired, and she got fired immediately. But this is where I want to interject the idea of forgiveness. Where in our society, what group of our society is promoting the idea of forgiveness? You see, the far left keeps shouting this whole idea of tolerance, but are tolerance and forgiveness exclusive? Like, why are they not connected in the view of the left? It seems strange to me, this idea that we are supposed to be a tolerant society, but yet when push comes to shove, people are getting fired versus forgiven for things that they say that don't align with the PC culture. So Megyn literally just says that from her past, when she was a kid, people weren't trying to be offensive by dressing up either as blackface or whiteface. They were just trying to wear a costume. The pushback of that viewpoint is that it's culturally insensitive. But I didn't hear Megyn say that it was culturally appropriate. I just heard Megyn say that this is what happened when she was a kid. I didn't hear her say that this is what happened when I was a kid, so it should still be happening today. I didn't hear her say this is what happened when I was a kid, so I'm gonna teach my kids how to do that. What I heard her say is that this was something normal for her society when she was a kid. Now, is it different for our society today? Sure. But the idea that is getting me really interested is the idea that we are firing and culturally hanging Megyn Kelly for saying something about her past. So here's my major question for you, is at what point should we start forgiving people for the mistakes that they make? At what point should we forgive someone versus fire them, versus destroy their life and their likelihood in their career? We are becoming obsessed with waking up every single day, turning on our cell phones, going onto YouTube or Instagram or Huffington Post or whatever it is, and finding that one new thing today that I can be so mad about that I can go onto Twitter and just post a bunch of stuff and try to get people fired from their career deals, you know, their sponsorship deals and all of that stuff. We are becoming obsessed as a culture with this negative groupthink of mob mentality, where we wake up each day and we look for one thing that we don't like about our world, or one person that we can hate on for the day. We make them the focus of all of our anger and our rage. We go to sleep, we wake up the next day and find a completely different person or part of our society to do this to. And I'm saying that this is unsustainable. We need to be able to figure out how to forgive each other when we experience someone that has made mistakes. Because what's happening right now in our pop culture with this mob mentality is very dangerous. because it's diluting the waters. Instead of having people that have clearly fucked up, that we are clearly going to go after and prosecute in the sense of bringing them actual justice to the ways that they have harmed either themselves or the society around them, now we're going with the same amount of intensity towards people that just speak slightly inappropriately. And instead of trying to help that person and see how they could improve themselves to speak a little differently, we attack them, we kill their career, and we try to destroy their future. This is just such a sketchy, slippery slope in my opinion, because forgiveness is the only way that true change can actually come in our society. Forgiveness is the only way that we can actually change ourselves and our world around us for the better. So if we don't learn how to forgive, we are destined to become the victims of the energy that we are putting forward. And if we are putting forward this judgmental, I want to kill this person's career type energy, you are contributing to society like that, and you will receive society like that, which is why I want none of that. See, I don't agree with Megyn Kelly when it comes to her politics, but when I see this situation blowing up and I'm seeing that it's really not that big of a deal what she's saying, that it's an anecdote from her past, it's not a present moment opinion that she's saying, I stand by this. She's saying from her past, that she experienced this in her past, and therefore she's asking questions. And to me, I don't see anything wrong with that. Politically, when it comes to all kinds of other subjects, I disagree with Megyn Kelly. I don't think that she and I see the world the same way. But when it comes to this, I wouldn't say that I agree with her at all, but I would say that she has been put through the ringer within 24 hours or 48 hours, going from making a verbal mistake on air to being fired and the rest of her career life now being screwed. That, I think, is just crazy. Why don't we forgive each other? Why can't we forgive Megyn Kelly for what she said? Why can't we forgive and talk about it at the same time? Why does it have to be straight to rage and to we want to destroy this person? See, I think we're all suffering from our own ego delusion, where we all have this sick and twisted desire to watch the suffering inside of another person. We have this sick and twisted desire to put Megyn into a position of suffering, and we want to watch that. And that is what I'm saying is wrong, and that's what's destroying you. That's what's destroying the person who engages with that mob mentality. Instead, again, if you've followed my blog for a while, you'll know that this blog is dedicated to two things. That is to spirituality and to music. To me, they're the same thing. But if you don't learn how to forgive on the spiritual side of this conversation, if you don't learn how to forgive, then you are going to live a life that is full of bitterness and suffering, and the only thing that's going to happen is that you're going to suffer, not the person that you think you're bitter at. So my challenge to you, my challenge to society, is to learn how to forgive. Yes, there are times when we need to take action, and people should be held accountable for what they say, what they do, but we also desperately need to learn how to forgive. I don't care if the end result of this story is that Megyn Kelly gets fired, which is what has happened. You still need to forgive. Because the truth is, we aren't even firing somebody and then applying forgiveness. We want that person to get fired. We want their lives to be destroyed. And then it's only when their lives are in complete chaos and rubble that we somehow feel that there has been justification. But there is missing a massive element from that whole dynamic, which is the idea of forgiveness. If we don't choose to forgive the people that have fucked up, then we are no better than that person. Period.
Support OnenO on patreon.com and gain access to exclusive content.